So my love for Jeeps started when I was about 17 years old. My first Wrangler was a 97 TJ, and downhill ever since. The first vehicle I ever learned how to drive stick on was my cousin's 94-ish YJ before I even had my driver's license. And it was downhill from there as far as my love for Jeeps. Insert marriage and kids, and my love for Jeeps was passed down apparently. We would go to the car shows in Green Street Cruise Night, and the kids enjoyed looking at all the vehicles and all the hot rods, but said, "Hey Dad, where are just the Jeeps?" So we searched for local Jeep clubs. This was before Facebook was a real big thing, and finding a local Jeep club was darn near impossible. So we kind of said, you know what, we'll create our own. So Jeeps on the Run was born. We did find another Jeep club that we tried to do an event with. It just didn't work out as planned. So Jeeps on the Run was born. And with that, there was another person looking to get some Jeep enthusiasts together, and her name was Terry Strickler. So at that time, Terry and I kind of teamed up, and we thought we should get some Jeeps together and meet fellow enthusiasts and go to lunch or go to dinner. And I thought maybe we could get 10, 15 Jeeps together and show off for the kids. So at that point, if all this effort was going into something like this, we thought maybe we should do a Toys for Tots drive. Everyone bring a toy and
make it for a cause, put it for a good cause. So that small event, we never could have imagined what it turned into. Started out small, and never in a million years did we dream that it would turn into what it is today.
So the first one was 35 Jeeps. We collected my brother-in-law drove my Suburban with we filled a Suburban full of toys, and we had maybe additional $3,000. We went shopping at Toys R Us, and we just thought we were on top of the world. In fact, Kaylin is wearing the first sweatshirt. It was probably my wife's at the time. The first Jeeps on the Run sweatshirt from run number 1. So it was an awesome feel-good moment, and it turned into be an annual event. We just absolutely hit a home run with it.
And these guys were so little at the time. Charlie, you probably don't remember any of it because I was lugging you around in a baby carrier the entire time. And Kaylin, you were probably 2 feet tall at the time. Do you remember much of it?
No, not really.
But you guys remember what it's become since then? Yeah. First year, we didn't have a close relationship with the Jeep dealership. Obviously, we're trying to prove ourselves. We knew what we could become, but we didn't see the long term of what this really was going to be. It wasn't until year 3 that we got really called out by a Jeep dealership. One of the members that had been with us for all 3 years at that time, Wade was his name. He goes by, he was a service manager at a local Jeep dealership and got us in front of one of the general managers there. So Jody Adams reaches out to me and says, "Hey, if you come to my dealership, we will raffle off a lift kit." At the time, a lift kit for Jeeps on the Run was like raffling off a Wrangler. So 9th inning, we changed all the plans, and we made that Jeep dealership our first stop of the event. It was at this time, 3rd year in, that we became on the radar for these Jeep dealerships, and that really helped set the stage for future Jeeps on the Run, and it kind of put fuel under letting this event grow exponentially.
So it was right about year 3 that we started to grow with the number of registrations to the point that it was no longer feasible for us to do traffic control the way we had done it previously. Just if you're thinking back, a little insight to how this used to be. A few weeks before the event, we would call all of the different police departments for the towns that we were going to travel through, and we would let them know that we were coming through with a huge group, and could they block some of the major intersections for us. So the day of the event, Mike would be driving the Jeep, and I would be calling every jurisdiction about 5 minutes before we got there, just saying, "Hey, heads up, we're almost here. We expect to be here in about 10 minutes. I'd hang up with them, and I'd call the next police department as we went through. Thankfully, things got a whole lot easier when the Lake County Reserves decided to help us out. They now take care of all of the traffic control and make the drive a whole lot more enjoyable for for us as a family. As a result, we've created a relationship with a lot of communities. One that sticks out is Johnsburg. They went above and beyond as a community to help us out and help support Jeeps on the Run in so many ways.
So it was about our third year in, I think it was, we did a summer event. It was a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness and breast cancer. All the money we went directly towards breast cancer patients, if you will, or survivors. And it helps offset some of their costs and some of their treatments that they were undergoing. At that time, we did an event. I would say we had probably about 100 Jeeps, maybe a little less. And the event was at the Broken Oar in Port Barrington. Pulling in there, again, summertime, we're all just pulling in and parking where we want. And one of the Jeeps on the Run members, had been a member since day one, realized a need that, hey, these Jeep people are just parking wherever they want to park. So he hopped out of his Jeep and all of a sudden he starts flagging people down and say, you park here, park here, park here. It was at that time we realized we needed a parking crew. I honestly don't remember the transition between Jason Young, who kicked this off, and Nick Barigi, who now is our managing team of the parking crew. Mind you, Nick also did join in. The first year, he played the role as Santa Claus. After Terry and I got together, Nick was quickly involved as part of the original kickoff team, and he played the role as Santa Claus and drove his Red Wrangler in the procession year one as well. So Nick, Terry, and I really had an integral part of the foundation of Jeeps on the Run to begin with. Nick now being the founding member of, or the managing team member of the road crew, which if you pay attention now, the road crew has done an incredible job. We cannot do that without them. We have people who have managed parking at places like the Allstate Arena, and they comment on, hey, I've seen a lot of places get parked. Your parking crew does an amazing job, and they almost do better than, if not better than, places like the Allstate Arena. So the parking crew has become such a huge integral part of Jeeps on the Run. You know, at one point, we'll park almost 800 to 900 Jeeps in a matter of a half hour, and they have to be parked in a parking lot that might hold 400 Jeeps. We couldn't do it without that team, as well as we couldn't do it without the Lake County Reserve. So thanks to the road crew, and thank you, Nick, for managing that circus. September of 2020, we landed at a new relationship with a local Jeep dealership. Our relationship with these Jeep dealerships is very important to me. We expect to have a dealership that supports us, understands our needs, it opens their arms for our team, whether it be service or sales or whatever the Jeeps on the Run team needs. We know we bring a lot to offer to a dealership, and we kind of are demanding back. So we were looking for someone that was going to give us that relationship and fulfill those needs. So we landed with Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake. And again, September 2020. If you rewind, you'll remember this was pretty much in the heart of COVID. It involved a lot of new hurdles. One, a brand new dealership that we are September normally planning is well underway. We've got everything locked in place. We've just created a relationship with the dealership. And now we're in COVID, a time when having an event was frowned upon. Having gatherings was not supposed to happen. In my heart, I knew that if we canceled Jeeps on the Run, I feel like it'd be the beginning of the end. You'd lose the momentum. As soon as you take a break, it would change. Talked to many other people. We all kind of agreed. My family agreed. So we moved forward with it. Ray stepped up to the plate, and he believed in us. He knew our history. He saw us, but never worked with us. And he offered a 3-year lease as a raffle on a brand new Wrangler. He also helped us navigate through the time of COVID restrictions, and we all pulled together, and we had a group of about 650 Jeeps. If you recall, we had it work. You had to stay in the parking lot. You couldn't get out of your Wranglers. You couldn't get out of your Jeeps. You could hardly even go to the bathroom if you needed to. But we still pulled in over 650 Jeeps, and we still had a record-breaking year. We filled over a semi-load full of toys, and the team of Jeeps on the Run, the unbelievable, everyone still stepped up. People were in their Jeeps 5 or 6 hours by the end of this event. And it was just incredible that we still were able to pull this many people in the time of COVID. It was absolutely amazing.
So 2020 was a pivotal year for us, and it changed a lot for how we run Jeeps on the Run. Prior to 2020, we always had people register ahead of time online. And as they did this and the registrations would come in, pretty much every night, Mike and I would sit down with an Excel spreadsheet and hand type everything in from the registration page into this Excel sheet where we'd mark down what everybody ordered in terms of shirts and sizes, sweatshirts, t-shirts. And then the day before the event, we would pack them all. So the registration bags that people got had all of their goodies in them that they had pre-ordered. This would take hours and hours and hours. And then COVID happened. COVID kind of ended the registration bags since nobody was getting out of their Jeeps and streamlined the process a little bit. There were no more registration bags at this point. And people could pick up their Jotr merchandise the day of or prior at the dealership. The Genesee was our end location during 2020. So even though we couldn't really get out of the Jeep, we drove to Waukegan and we there met the Marines. The Marines were in the parking lot with their semis. They were waiting for us and they simply unloaded the cars as we drove through, and that was the end of the event. Those changes, a lot of them stuck. Thankfully now we are able to go into the Genesee Theater and have a little bit of an after party, but the Marines still unloading the toys from the trucks is one of the best parts, I think, that came from COVID in 2020.
So 2021 comes and we are going strong. We've donated over $1 million worth of toys and donations at this point to the local community. We've helped other Toys for Tots foundations that either their toy lockers burnt down or they've been stolen or whatever. We've helped multiple. We've breast cancer. We've done heart association. We've done cancer association. We've done so many things in these past 9 years. Coming into the 9th year, Ray offers to raffle off a brand new Wrangler, and this time it wasn't a lease, it was for keeps. So whoever won this got to keep this brand new Wrangler. And you know, year one, we had very minimal donations. Fast forward 9 years with just the help of everybody involved, we've gotten to the point where we raffled off a brand new Jeep Wrangler. It was kind of a dream of mine from the beginning, and it's finally come true. Absolutely unbelievable. The generosity of everybody involved has just helped push this over the top. So the winner last year, I always think this is a fun story. This is the first time somebody wins a Wrangler, brand new Wrangler, for keeps. She was a volunteer with one of our sponsors, and she was always dreamed of being a Jeep owner and didn't own a Jeep, always wanted one, and she won the Jeep. And she says from here on out, she'll be at every Jeeps on the Run in her Wrangler.
So my favorite part of the event, actually it's hard to pick just one, but one of my favorite parts of the event is seeing everybody's generosity the day of. Watching those toys being unloaded from the cars into the trailers at the Genesee is absolutely amazing to me. It never ceases to amaze me how generous people are in general. I also love seeing all of the decorated Jeeps lined up in the parking lot. I love all of the decorations. To me, the event is the kickoff to the holiday season. It just fills my heart to see everybody decked out and ready for Christmas.
One of my favorite parts of the day is probably shopping because it's fun filling just carts and carts up of toys and seeing the huge line of toys, and it's fun like shopping for people your age. I also love to help. I have a radio on me, so if there's anything random that pops up in the day that they need help with, I'm just running around helping random things. I was months old when it started, and now I'm 10 now, so it's fun that I can actually help, and I remember it now. I don't remember when I was 6 months old or whatever it was, obviously.
My favorite part of the event is the day of, and I like seeing everyone unload the toys they brought and everyone coming together and having a good time while supporting a good cause. I also love after the event when we use all the money that we collected and we go shopping for the kids. I love the feeling of shopping because I know that I'm helping somebody who needs it.
So for me, my favorite part of the day, I have lots of favorite parts. I'm usually everywhere at all times throughout that day. It's a complete whirlwind for me. But I do love watching the traffic come in. I love watching the people along the sidelines as we make our police escorted route to our destination, the Genesee. Seeing these 2 semi-loads of toys being filled, trailers being filled with toys, hearing that we ran out of boxes, we have no more room for toys. I love those kinds of problems. I love hearing how for many families, Jeeps on the Run has become a new Christmas tradition. I love hearing how for many people they've been to it all 10 years, or maybe it's your first year and you say you're gonna be to the next 10. I love hearing the stories from people on the inside and how their day went. I absolutely love shopping for the toys with all the money that we've collected and filling another X amount of trucks with toys. For me, I absolutely there's everything about it that is a complete rush, and I think it's the fact that months and months of work have come together for a huge successful day. Always amazing to me to see that we went from 35 Jeeps to almost 1,000, and it's all just because of generosity of sponsors, volunteers, and people like yourselves who actually show up. So it's just amazing day. I love it. So we hope you've enjoyed the story of where Jeeps on the Run started and where we've came. We've helped over tens of thousands of local kids, and it's just an amazing a group that we have, all because of people like you. We're going into the 10th anniversary. We're super excited. We've got 10 more years coming and then some. So please join us on Facebook. We've got a great conversation going on there. You can follow our YouTube channel and check out jeepsontherun.com. There's always some good stuff going on.
We hope that you make it to this year's event, and we hope you make it part of your family tradition as well.
Bye.